In a time when Microsoft and Sony are pushing the limits when it comes to gaming, Nintendo is sitting over there being like, 4K schmork, 120 frames per second, who cares about that? We'd rather have 120 smiles per second. And you know what? It works. Nintendo has always been good despite being so far behind with their technical specs. But why though? Today I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch, whether or not good is still good enough, and if it's still worth your hard-earned cash. Let's go. Like many people, some of my best childhood memories revolve around playing Nintendo games. Nintendo had, and still has, this uncanny ability to bring people, including unlikely siblings, together in joy, building memories immersed in gaming. Now that's nice and all, but the point of this video is not to reminisce. It's to talk about whether or not the Nintendo Switch, which came out in 2017, is still worth investing in years later, and whether or not that's a good decision. First, let's talk about the price. The price as of this recording is $299 US, and with that you get one Joy-Con controller, which can be split into two. That price comes with no games. It's not the most expensive console out of the gate, but here's how they get ya. Want a game? That's 60 bucks a pop plus tax. Oh, want to play an old game and save a few bucks? You know, a game from 2017? Yeah, it's still full price. Want to go buy it used? Go ahead and see how much that costs secondhand. Not only are the new games expensive, the used ones are almost just as much. It's insanity. Want more Joy-Con controllers? Yeah, they're 100 bucks each. And I'm not even going to talk about the drifting issues in this video. Oof. So yeah, say you have a couple kids or friends you want to game with, you want to buy a Switch, then you'll want an additional Joy-Con so everybody can play. Now you need a couple of games, of course. You should probably get Mario Odyssey and Mario Kart. Those are great staples. And maybe get one or two more to have some variety. Oh crap, now we're at math. Cha-ching. Oof. And that's barely a collection. That doesn't include the Switch Online so you can play with friends. And there's still quite a few games and accessories you should probably get. Now we're nearing $1,000. It's expensive for old tech, and you barely save money buying used. The good thing is, for certain things, they nailed it with the Switch. Years later, the unique controllers and portability helped them create a very niche style of gaming, which hadn't been done so well ever before. The bad is that this type of system is very limited in what it is capable of. And they advertise their platform to be capable of playing those latest and greatest games. That might be a total letdown for gamers once they experience the performance of those games on the Switch. Their hardware is outdated, which makes it hard for modern games to port the games successfully to Nintendo. And here's what's happening because of that. The Nintendo Switch has a slow and steady number of cloud version games available. But while you still can play Dying Light 2 on the Switch, that's not why you buy a Switch in the first place. It still absolutely shines when it comes to first-party titles, the games built for and by Nintendo, the Mario games, the Pokemon games, the Zelda games, Metroid. And that reason alone is still why the Switch is worth considering and still a great choice for a lot of people. They are still really good at creating fun games. So should you buy it? If you are new to gaming or like easygoing single player games, are buying it for kids, want to game on the go while commuting to work, or maybe just want to pick up something to play with family or when people come over, then the Switch is still an absolutely great decision, albeit a bit expensive. I think if you know the exact type of games you want to play, and if it's something that Nintendo offers, like Animal Crossing, Pokemon Snap, the Mario or Zelda games, or something like that, then yes, you will get years of enjoyment out of the Switch, and you should still buy it. But with the Steam Deck imminent, the uniqueness of the Switch starts to lessen. Also, the competition has fun party games, and family games too. Things like Fall Guy on PlayStation, or Drawful or Minecraft, which you can play on any console. So while something like the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5 seem really expensive at first glance, buying an Xbox and a year access to Game Pass is not actually that bad when you compare it to the Switch and a few games. If you play to the Switch's strengths, you'll find a lot of joy in certain games. If you aren't always looking to keep up with the latest tech, you will have fun for years. Because I have small children I love to game with, I think the Nintendo is still an awesome buy, and I would buy it again in my current situation. However, if I didn't have kids, it would be very hard for me to buy a Nintendo Switch. I would personally probably get an Xbox with Game Pass instead. So yes, I recommend the Nintendo Switch for people who want to play Animal Crossing or other Nintendo exclusives. If you aren't necessarily looking for any game in particular, you might want to check out what Game Pass is doing. It's getting pretty nuts. Check out my Game Pass review here. What about you? Do you think the Nintendo Switch is still worth buying at full price? If someone wanted to get into gaming, what would you tell them to do? As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.